All right, everyone. Firstly, just a big thank you to Josh and the team for the opportunity for Festool to turn up tonight and present not only some existing product that's reference to the expanding cordless range that Festool have to offer, but some unique new product that is yet to be released to the market. So theoretically, tonight you are the only Queensland participants to see this product. So a little bit more privileged, but we wanted to do something a little bit of a point of difference. So this is a product that's being released in January 2023. So obviously, please feel free to give us your feedback and how you think the market will appreciate, not only appreciate, but also whether there's some good features and benefits that you think will bring value to your business. Now, tonight, you're not going to hear from me tonight. We've got the unique Bruce McKinley, who is actually the Festool National Trainer. Otherwise known as Macca, if you've been watching some of the YouTube videos or the Festool videos. You can see a smile over here. So Bruce has given up his time tonight, and he's going to run through the product and show you some features and benefits where you get some more value on application pieces and so forth. So thanks, Bruce.
Yep.
I'll leave it in your capable hands.
No worries. Okay. Good afternoon again, guys. So tonight, sorry, I'll move over here for you. It's pretty easy going. Just a little bit about my role. So I look after I do a lot of dealer training, a little bit of end user training, and I started with the company in 2000. So I'm from the trade. I'm a carpenter by trade. Bit of flooring in there as well. But over the years, I've got some really good benefits out of it, and particularly on the dust extraction side, it's made a big difference with it. But one thing that you guys would understand about the company, that they're really innovative. So they're getting a lot better these days to go out in front of the end user and actually ask, what's hard about your job, what we can make it easier. And one thing about Festool is they try to look at the end user, look at difficult areas, and then innovate something to make that safer or quicker. So it's good tonight, and these sort of nights we can have a look at the product. You guys can use the product as well. And if you've got any questions about any other product in the range, happy to answer them. We can talk a little bit about the future of Festool and the way that they're moving forward. Obviously in front of us here, we've got a few core products in your range, in the range here. So particularly cordless we focus on. So it's only been in the last few years that the cordless have moved forward a lot more. One reason for that is the European market, they still use a lot of 240 volt items and that sort of thing. So, but as I said, Festool are doing more into the market these days, and the fact is that their cordless market will grow over the next few years. So there'll be some interesting products coming out for the flooring industry as well. That's all secret men's business at the moment, but there's some really nice machines that they've got in order to bring you as well. So it's good. But I think the offering at the moment with the smaller compound saws, the track saws, etc., is a good offering. So we'll take a little bit more of a deeper look at that tonight. So over that side, I've got the HK. It's a standard circular saw, and we can pop that on the rail. And the big advantage of that is that we can do really quick cross cuts. Okay, so we can use that pretty local rather than taking it to a slide compound saw. So you can think of it more as a slide compound saw in your hand for that reason. We can do all our angle cuts and that type of thing. We'll look at just a few accessories, the new rail. We've got the new TSC 55. This is with the kickback stop. Okay, we spoke a little bit about safety tonight with all that. We're all about safety, we're all about innovation, and that's another thing we stand for. So the kickback stop is there, for when you're plunge cutting and you've got chance to kick back and that sort of thing. So it sort of protects you on that. And we'll look at a couple of accessories. And the new products tonight, we've got 2 dust extractors. So we've got a little CT Sys, which we target a lot for people who want to take it on site that are not producing a lot of dust and still want to control their dust. So the little CT Sys we'll have a look at. And the next one is the CTMC MIDI. So the little 14 litre vac, and this one again, it's got a larger capacity, and also it's got a larger range of batteries that we can put into it as well. But again, something compact that you can take on site, and also combine that up with the little cordless drop saw. So I'll show you a few things on that, and also a little bit with angles and that type of thing. And sanders. Thank you. Wayne's giving me the wind up on different things. And we've also, we'll take a look at the cordless sanders. Does any guys use Bluetooth technology at all with anything?
A little bit.
Yeah? Where's that a benefit for you guys?
Mostly with the back and track saw and stuff.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the Bluetooth technology's really moved forward over the years, particularly for, we know that we can Bluetooth it up to our machines, our batteries, and where we differ a little bit is we actually Bluetooth to the battery rather than the tool, so it just means that battery follows the tool around and we can move to different tools with that same battery. And obviously the remote control as well, so we can put the remote control on. If we're using different machineries, we can operate that off the dust extractor. So yeah, they're the key things that we'll have a look at tonight. As I said, if you've got questions and that type of thing, definitely fire them up, and we can answer them as we go. All right. So one thing about Festool, as you guys may know, we're all about systems, having systems that work efficiently. Who here owns a guide rail? Yep. All guide rail. Pretty good on that. Well, this is a new one, and pretty much the whole idea of this is initially that we've got Systainers. Okay, and just this middle recess here is just so we can plonk it on top of the Systainer. So again, feedback from customers. We want an easier way to transport the 1400 rail and that sort of thing. So that gives us enough to be able to transport that and make it nice and easy. So these other two recesses here, they get a few applications where people, it may be where they're doing finished panels on walls and things like that, where they want to actually stick the rail on the surface. Okay, so what we've got is some little recesses here that we can actually plant that onto a vertical surface or a horizontal surface. Obviously the cushioning does that job anyway for us. You guys would use that with our clamps, but that's so we can put these in. They're double-sided. We just rip the backs off there. We can stick it onto a wall. Maybe you want to cut something out in situ or whatever it might be. So that's the idea of those two there. We know these M ones, that's just to hang it up. Okay, people over the years have used it to screw into, maybe again on a wall where they need to do a cut. But now they've just put a couple of countersunk holes in there. And the main idea for that, again, if you're not so precious on what you're cutting, you can pop a couple of screws in there and do that. So these new rails are only in 1400 and 1900. Okay, everything else is the same. Obviously our splinter guard gives us that quality of cut, and Teflon, etc. We'll just do a cut with this one here. And so just the cordless track saw. This has been around for a little while now, but obviously the benefit of this is it gives us really good dust extraction, plunge cuts, so it gives us enables to do plunge cuts, and this is working now with our kickback stop. So again, it's just another safety feature we put into it, where people are plunging in. There's always a chance that they'll get kickback depending how they go with it. So this little, we've got a little sensor just on the back here, and the idea of that sensor is once we've got it on the rail, if the saw lifts up, kicks that sensor off and just shuts it off. So it's just another safety for that. We know about the base plates there, obviously our little cams. The little cams are there, so we adjust them up when we first hit onto the rail. Okay, so our initial setup, we've got this looks like a brand new, is it?
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to cut the splinter guard off. So our rubber splinter guard here we'll cut into. First thing, we'll just make sure that these cams are done up right. So the easiest way to do that, we just on the base plate, okay, not up here, but just on the base plate. Just got a little bit of movement in that, so all we do is just wind that up so that we've got no movement, but we've still got a nice easy way with it. So that's now parallel, everything's set up on that. So this new splinter guard here, now that that's set and the saw's tracking right, we're just going to cut that rubber strip off. Now that rubber strip, that won't need to be changed. That stays on there until you Yeah, until you use a different type of blade on it. But the idea of that is we match the saw to the rail for sure. So definitely we know that the 2.2 blade, and the reason why they did a 2.2 blade from the start was for stability, blade stability and quality of cut. So the main reason that we're swapped to the thinner blade now is that users wanted longer life out of batteries. So removing less material, less power draw, so that it enables us to get longer life out of batteries, and it also allowed us to cut quicker. Okay, because again, cutting through less material, so less material removal allows us to cut. So the track saw from the 2.2 blade to the 1.8, we could cut 50% quicker. So so it was a good benefit with that. They changed the geometry on the blades just to make sure that they kept the cut quality in there as well. Yeah. How many times would you guys sharpen your blades? Do you sharpen blades? Yeah. Yeah. Some people don't. Some people buy new ones, but absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Because they do it hard. Right. They're a good tungsten carbide as far as really good quality, so it does last a lot. Now you do know on this that you've got a 0 adjustment point. So what happens is on the blades when you sharpen them, you're obviously taking off your diameter, and then what happens then is your 0 point ends up out. Okay, so your 0 mark on your depth adjustment. So if you want to cut 20 mil and you've taken 2 mil off your blade or 1.5 mil, whatever it is, you're always off. So that you've got a little dial just on the top here, and that allows you to always adjust your height to 0. So if you're cutting through flooring that's 20 mil and you've got concrete on the bottom, you can make sure that you're not going through to the conch. Yeah, so this is, you can come a bit close and check it out, but it's a good one to. So if this is off the rail now, all I want to do is I've got 2 separate heights for this, FS and non. So I'm going to bring it up to that left-hand side for 0.
Okay.
Okay. And then what we've got in the back here, just up here, is our Allen key. And what should happen now is when I plunge this saw, the blade should just be in contact with the material. So I'll just leave that off. Plunge it in. Okay, that's way too deep at the moment.
Yeah.
Okay. So just up here, you've got this, and we can just wind this out. Okay, so at the moment that wants to come up a little bit.
Yeah, nice.
Now that'll be different for your blades because your blades will go the other way. You want to wind it down.
Yeah.
So, okay, that's still a bit.
Yeah, because I knew that's what that did, but
So now that's free spinning a bit.
I wasn't
Okay, so
sure
we just
how
need
to flush it up again.
Yeah.
Like, do you just seems silly that you just kind of twist it until.
Yeah.
You know,
So
like,
now we get
gotta
that
be a more
right.
accurate way of doing it.
No, that's it. So you're just scared because that's on a spring too. That won't move.
Yeah, nice.
So that's just about on it now.
Yeah, sweet.
Yep. So now at least then you know your 0 points right. As you sharpen your blades, you're always working accurately. Yeah. So that's a little bit on there.
Yeah, it can be like that guy on TikTok and cut over the $50 note and
Yeah.
still be good.
I've never tried that yet, but yeah, I will do. 100%.
Yeah.
And not going through the
This is a new protractor that we've got. It's definitely the best protractor we've had in our range, absolutely. And what this does, it enables you to get perfectly 90-degree cuts. You can use it for 90 degrees, but it also indexes in all the other common angles. Now, I imagine with most of your cuts, correct me if I'm wrong, they're done on a slow compound saw. Yeah, most of them. But this is definitely works with the rail, particularly for sheet goods where you need to get a perfectly 90-degree cut. We can set that up. I'll just show you where it fits in. Okay, so we've just got the lever there. That hooks over the edge of the rail. This one goes in here, and then we just bring it up, and we just lock that up. Yep, just like that. Okay. Now we can, if we want to, not that we need to, but you can do. You can put a clamp just into there. We're going to set that now to. Yep. So we can just set that up. If we wanted to, we can run a clamp in there, and we can lock it up. Of course, you guys know that we don't necessarily need to clamp the rail for sure. So we get the right pressure on it, we can cut all the way through. Maybe if we're cutting larger sheets, it gives us an option to do that. Okay, so who owns a plunge saw? So how's the dust extraction on it? Okay,
80%.
80. Can I get 85? So this is definitely a really important part of it. That'll give you better dust extraction. So that little stop there, when you're on the rail, we just want to make sure that that's hard down. Okay, so if that sits up, what it does, it'll push more dust out the front.
That's what I'm doing wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it makes a big difference.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I never knew that.
Yeah, that's it. So
That's
yeah.
why I'm losing the 20%. Yeah.
Oh,
So you're cutting in?
You'll be 94 then.
Yeah.
yeah, so that's one. And we also do a cover plate for that. That covers the whole saw up.
Better.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
Yeah,
when
it's
you cut it, bring it down.
yep. So
Okay.
yeah, I mean that'll just sit
Oh,
there.
yeah,
So that's
yeah.
that's the idea. So we'll use that now. You may understand we can get this is going to give us a good quality cut on this side. We can get a splinter guard in there, depending on what you're cutting off and that sort of thing. So you get a good quality cut on both sides, for sure. Yeah. So this comes in the kit. So this is there just so if we need to, we can pop that in. Okay, we're going to drop that all the way down. Okay, I'll cut this one off now. So what that does is this splinter guard gives us a good quality cut on this side. But what happens is because the blade cuts up from here, the other side.
The other
Yeah.
side.
So what it's going to do is
Yeah, because you can't always have this the right way. So if you're going this way, you drop that down so this the other edge is clean.
so if you were wanting to use this strip,
Yeah.
you wanted
Yeah,
to
exactly.
use the strip,
Yeah.
you can get a good cut because you wouldn't be able to balance on the other way. Yeah. So that's the idea of that, just allowing that. So what we'll do is we'll cut this. I'll just cut this rubber strip off just so it's fitted. You guys just watch your eyes.
Yep.
We'll use a little cordless back. We might as well introduce this one now because we're going to start using. So the MIDI, the CT MIDI, CTC MIDI, should I say? So this runs on our 18-volt platform, and it takes all the batteries in the range. So all from our little 4 amp hours all the way to, at the moment we've got 6, and very shortly we'll have the 8s. Okay, so that'll take all that. Just a couple of things on the machine itself. You guys know that the insides of the machine, we're designed to get maximum capacity in the machines, having the flat filters. Okay, and on all the dust bags, this type of thing, we can seal them off. You know, when we use it, so seal it off just in your hand on the bag and that sort of thing, so it's not getting in your way. Okay, so we'll put these are couple of 5.2s. Okay, so you guys, the Bluetooth here. So we've got 2 settings for the Bluetooth. The first setting is when we connect the batteries up. That's where it flashes slowly. And the second one is where we hold our finger on there a little bit longer. It flashes a little bit quicker. And that's where we can hook up the remote controls. So this is where we want to use the machine remotely. Cleaning up whatever it might be, we can just work off that. So the band, it comes with either a 27mm or a 36mm band, and we'll put that around the hose. Yeah. What more do you want, eh? That's on there. You'll notice a new fitting that we've got now. The whole idea of that is just to reduce the amount of vacuum coming through. So particularly on some of an application such as your small sanders, sometimes you've got so much suction going through there, it'll pull itself into the material. This is where you can get different finishing marks. So this allows you to back it off from the dust extractor, but you can also set that to
So
whatever.
you're closing it, or
Open and
opening
close it,
up,
yeah.
opening.
Very similar to what you do on your vacuum, your wands and that sort of thing.
slide.
Yeah, so, and M being an M-class extractor, this is the whole idea of M-class, because M-class actually measures the flow. Okay, so we'll just cut this down. The only thing with, this gets back to accuracy. So with this particular one here, the cams.
Yeah.
So when you've got the cams on here, you get all that movement.
Yeah.
So the only time that you'll see a guide rail trimmed all the way through is when you join another one onto it and you run through. Now you could do it because that's unusable.
I get your 800 and put it on the other end and
Trim it through, yeah.
Yeah.
So if I joined it up there, I'd run it all the way through, and that's when you trim it through. But this is unusable rail length here.
Yeah.
And the reason for that is because when you're cutting, you've got to have at least, well, I say a minimum of 300 mil overhang on your application, so you can get both of those cams on the rail, and you can safely drop the saw in without hitting the material first and kicking back. So yeah, if you joined your rails together, you can cut all the way through, but it will always be unusable. Okay, so yep, that's all good. Put that through. That cut from the green one, yeah, on that side.
Yeah, on this side. Beautiful.
Yeah. So that's ideally stopping that chip out.
If you want to use the part that you.
Correct. Yeah. So,
Anyone have a cut?
otherwise, we'll move on to the next product. Any cuttage? Okay, hold on.
Hang on, where's the waiver?
Sorry, where's the fucking
Yeah.
Stanley blade? I use those.
Here's the waiver.
Perfect.
Hear that?
And so we'd wind them up. We'd wind them up through there, and then another one would go in here upside down, and we'd wind them up. Now, the issue was, if people weren't alert, they could screw them and they'd start deforming that, yeah. And the other thing was, if they tighten this one up first, and then just put their rail onto it, there's every chance that the rail wasn't straight. So the idea of this, the new one is, rather than fixing the top, it spreads the steel. Yeah, and what's got two advantages: A, it won't come into the top, and the other one is that it lines that joint up perfect through there. So once we flip that over,
So you just push it out.
yeah, that's it. That'll just push that out.
Expands it.
Yep. So yeah, they're the new joiners. Is that all going to go through that? You sure? Okay, so that gives us our cut line. If we want to do an angle cut, we just bring that round 15 degrees and swing that round. It sits on our corner. Again, we just need that one marked wherever our intersection is, and then we can roll that through. Okay. So yeah, we'll talk a little bit about this little cordless saw. I don't know how many own the little one. Yep. How do you find that?
I love it.
Yep. So this can use any of the 18 volt range, 4 all the way through. It can run off one battery, but not so much for timber flooring and that. Yeah.
But you know, when you have the dust extraction in the vac, connect the saw to the vac, you don't really need it cordless. Because the vac is connected to the power anyway. Unless you have, I know, you go fully cordless.
Hey, we got a new one
I'm not
for you
changing
today.
it again.
Yeah. So as we said
You know what I
before,
mean?
that's
Yeah.
what the direction we're going now. Definitely.
Everything
So,
cordless.
Everything cordless for people that want it. How much of the market do you think is cordless sales?
Fucking Bluetooth song.
Bro, more and more now.
80%.
80%, yeah,
Really?
probably over 80%. So there's very little. Some of the competitors won't make. Well, will stop producing any powered machines shortly. So just the battery technology, it's so good these days. It's efficient. It lasts long. The motors and all that sort of thing. So this will definitely be the future. But we spoke before. You don't get the same amount of torque out of a cordless as you do a corded. You know, there's a lot of applications where obviously the quarter, but the right motor and the right power and the requirements are right, you're fine. But definitely now this is why we've gone down that way, because people want to be mobile. So yeah, this one's has got the opportunity to run all the batteries in the range. So with the Bluetooth, so we'll just connect that up. One thing with the remote controls that we hooked up before. If we have got this at the back, we don't always have to get to the vac to trigger the Bluetooth to then trigger that. So this little button on this one, if we push that, it'll actually trigger that to then pair the battery. Yeah, just so you don't have to go back to the vac, and then we can turn it on. There is a little bit more of a delay in the start between the cordless, so that triggering, but so the new cordless, we also offer the bag.
Can you buy this separately?
Yeah, absolutely. So that'll fit.
Sometimes you got to just a few cuts to do.
Absolutely, yeah. You don't want to take a dusty or anything like that.
Corded one. Also.
Correct. Yeah. So you can take that. That'll fit even the larger saws we do, which is a 120 and that type of thing. So the bag just will connect onto the back there. And the other one. They're my glasses. So we've just got the extension out there. It's just if you've got slightly longer lengths or whatever it is, you can still manage off that distance. Otherwise, we can put a Sys1 Systainer if we're not working in this sort of situation. So you've still got some balance on each side of it. So we've got a trenching function on this. It's probably, you probably wouldn't use that much, but the trenching function's there. Yep. On the side there, we've got variable speed just for different materials, that type of thing.
So tell us about the variable speeds.
Yep.
Because I just have it on max all the time.
Flat out, yeah. So
what does it do? Like, what do we need to do?
Yeah. So variable speed is the same in any machine that you use, whether it's a sander, a saw, whatever it might be. But when we relate it to saws, the idea of it is, particularly, as you may know, we've got a series of blades that cut all different materials. So we've got aluminium blades, we've got aluminium, we've got laminate blades, and different types of blades. So the idea, let's use the example of a plastic or an acrylic that we want to cut. If we cut that too fast, what can happen is you can melt the cut. So what we do, we use the right blade with the right amount of teeth and the right tooth pitch. We can vary the speed down, and we get a really good quality of cut. We relate it to aluminium. We need to have variable speed in aluminium and the right negative rate blades to be able to get the quality of cut, depending on the aluminium. So for timber, you're right, we're usually on speed 6. Maybe the difference between an extremely hardwood to a softwood, you can reduce the speed a little bit to stop burning, but on the whole, timber usually cuts well at high speeds. Our blades have got the right pitch in that.
Hybrid, for instance, would you get would you cut that at a lower speed or not?
Do you have any issues with cutting that? Is there any?
Cutting is easy, but you know what I noticed?
One-inch blades.
Okay. Yeah, right.
I think the laminated blade is better for it, but
You've tried it?
yeah, oh no.
Yeah.
I think you might be using the guillotine.
Yeah.
So it's like
Yeah, okay.
So I use you like it.
It's also when we use our trimmers on edge banding, plastic edge banding, and that it's very hard to gather it all in that type of thing. So yeah, but that's the whole idea of variable speed, and it's really for those.
So maybe on a softer material, you drop down a little bit the speed. Yeah?
You can, yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
So in our cement sheet we drop down a little bit, and it's more that you don't put as much heat in the blade. So sometimes you heat the blade up, and then you can have issues with that. Your blade blunts out really quick. And that type of thing as well. So yeah, it's just to relate it to whatever material, and sometimes that can be a trial. Recommend the speed setting here, okay? And the idea of that is if you've got a certain type of material you're cutting, you've got the right colour blade, and it gives you a variance in what speed you could use, just to get that. And I'd usually set it up in the middle, have a go at that, look at it, yep, looks good, we can continue on with that, or no, it needs to be higher speeds and things like that.
Right.
Absolutely. So, you guys use this? We're going to do it down here, and we're going to do it quick.
All right.
Okay? So, would you like to have a go? And we'll do it.
Okay.
All right. So obviously, when we're you guys are doing your quad, you're doing standard skirting, borders, all that type of thing. So we're just going to make this out as a external skirting around a house or whatever it might be. Okay. So the idea of this bevel is that sure we can do our internal corners where they're usually scribed, scribe our corners, and then when we're doing externals, we'll push this out through there. So what we can do now is we can line that up depending on what corner we want to do. Okay, and this here represents our dead center of our. You smiling, you know it. Yeah, absolutely. So we're going to push that in.
Yeah.
Now, what we line this up with is our arrows down on the edge here. Okay, and we're going to line them up with our 2 arrows on this.
Okay, do that.
Oh,
Okay, I want to see you do that.
okay, there we go. So
All right.
now there's one thing about this for you guys that have got them. One benefit to this is we can take the indexing out.
Yeah.
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 So we take that out
Lock it in. Yeah.
and get it out of the way, so we haven't got any
Free play.
indexing. Can I get you to hold that for 5 seconds?
sir.
Just going to wind this up a fraction. That's it. A bit freer. And we're going to pop this on here. Now the easiest way to adjust your bevel is just by holding it here and not trying to hold it here. So what we do is we're going to bring it round. Now I'm going to have to go on the other side now.
Okay.
Yep. And all we're going to do is oh look at that. See, I should have thought of that. There we go. We're going to bring that into there. Because you've got to move the bevel on the table to find the happy medium or to find the center point.
Because it might not be exactly a 45 or like.
I like just a half circle with a I think I've got that also. It's like a sort of a half circle and then
Trojan.
Yeah, could be. It'll just clip onto the front of it, on the back, and then you can just clip that this way. There we go. And yeah, so again, it's just where you're only going on site to do a couple of cuts or something like that.
Sometimes you don't need the back.
Yeah, you can keep that on there, and that'll fit up there. So yeah, obviously we would target this at flooring and that type of thing because we can move that indexing out, make it easier. Skirting is perfect, and all your quads and all that sort of thing, and still being able to give you a really good length of cutting that as well. So, but so this will take all the batteries and all the batteries all the way through there. So we will have 8 amp hour batteries also available, which will also go into the CT MIDI, and CTC MIDI, and also this.
And there's also Systainer kits coming out with batteries and charger kits as well to choose from.
We've really targeted this one at, people that, as I said, take it on site, they're not producing a lot of dust, but we can connect every tool the same as we can with the larger units as well. Okay, so it's in a compact Systainer, so our markets for that is definitely painting, people just finishing on site, that type of thing. But always the benefit of this little guy is that we can also reduce it again in height where we want to use it. So the hose inside is, rather than 3.5 meters, it's just a 3 meter. Okay, so it's a 3 meter hose. There's also just a strap that we can cart it around with. That strap can also be located in the front here, which when we reduce it down, I'll show you where that sits.
I assume your multi-tool attaches to this as well,
Absolutely, yeah. So,
because that'll be what our industry would use it for.
and that's a
a
good
multi-tool,
example,
run in and undercut all the
Something small,
doors.
Yeah, doing that. So this has got exactly the same, just a 3 meter length, and we've got the same setup as what's on the Mini. So straight on the multi-tool with that. So this one just takes the smaller high-powered batteries. Okay, so we've got a similar size motor, but it just takes a 4 amp, and
So that could be the same amp output as like the 5 and the 6, but just on a shorter battery life.
Correct, yeah. So it's 18 volts, so you got the same amount of power.
Yeah.
It's just that you got a smaller tank.
Yeah.
So people use that for drills or machines that they want a little bit of reduced weight.
Yeah.
Yep. So yeah, we take the two 4 amp hour batteries there, and then yeah, it's similar setup. We've got our on button, we've got our manual. Okay, and with this one, we've just got it where we can reduce the settings that way. So just three reductions there. Again, when you're using sanders, just to give you a bit of variance with that. And of course, if you've got an application such as sanding and that, if you run it at a lower speed, you get more battery life. So that's the idea. And particularly with some of our tools, you don't need the amount of extraction coming through. So that's where the cordless, you can bring it down a little bit to get longer battery life out of it and that type of thing. Okay, Bluetooth.
We'll sync one of these.
Yeah, we'll sync one of those in the TEC. Now, if we do want to reduce the size of the unit, we can, first of all, I'll take that off. We can reduce that. Okay, just inside there, we can see the setup. Oh, look, bonus. There you go. Another one there, mate.
Oh, Bluetooth.
So I've got a little 3.5 litre capacity bag. So this is only dry, pick up this one. And then when we kick this out, this is just our filter and everything in there. So it's fairly compact little unit, and being an M-class unit as well. So connect that in, that'll lock that up. Yeah, absolutely. Maybe 2 for mum. Drop that in, and then we can lock that up. We can also get a reusable bag for these as well. So if we want to, we just want to empty the bag, we can. So yeah, can lock that up. It's also, they put an additional in here, just a plug system, and it's only if you do decide to reduce the size of it.
Yes. Theoretically, the theory behind that is obviously if you are just going onto site using the shoulder strap, maybe with one tool locked in, with another Systainer locked in, you want to reduce the weight.
Yeah, and then we can card it. So to unpair these, just so you guys know, okay, so we just push these together, because we can actually connect 5 remote controls to one module. Yeah, so it just means, might have one on the vac, there may be one on there, on the saw, so we should be right now. Okay, just a tick, oh, hold on.
Ghostbuster.
All good? There we go. Now we'll just beef that up. So just with the little sanders, they are hybrids. Obviously we can use it battery operated, or we can put the power adapter in there. And if we need a bit of flexibility on site, obviously we can just use a bag. These have got fans in them that'll blow the dust out there. Obviously it's not as good as a dust extractor, but it still keeps it clean if you're just doing that small job. The pad guards are there again. You might, okay, it's mainly for the painting market, or particularly for you guys if you're going near edges and things like that. Just keeps a distance away from there, so it protects the pad, but also protects that surface. So the pad guard's also an option on there. I'll give you that. Give you the bag. So we'll just pair the Bluetooth battery. So these batteries all the same. We do the same thing here. We've got we just hit that once. That'll pair the battery up. Okay, you've got a bit of a delay on there. And again, with something like this, it's more likely to drop it down a little bit because there's plenty of suction coming through there. So just increase the battery life. Now the other one is where if the battery obviously runs out and then we need to pair another one. Okay, we can pop that directly into there, and that's where we can use the Bluetooth button again. So rather than going back to the machine, particularly if you're joining 2 hoses together mainly and using off there, you could just hit that. That'll trigger the Bluetooth on that, and you can turn it on directly from there. And it'll pair that battery again. So it saves you going back and forth. The difference with these are they are only battery operated. Yeah, absolutely. So yeah.
Do you want to turn it on? Do you want to use it or not?
No, that's all right. We can do that. But
The benefit of that is that we could still use the vac off a power lead. So if you've got a product like the Rotex or something like that that you want to work with, we can still use it because we can run that off that. We can run that separately. That way. So yeah. So the Bluetooth's really good. It's one of those things that's it differs a lot from what our competitors offer with Bluetooth, but it makes it extremely easy to use for sure.
And there's just all those 3 shapes, by the way, too, in those sanders.
Yep, so we do the 125mm, just a standard random orbital, then the square orbital, the RTS, and the DTS just for corners and that type of thing. So yes. Yeah, any other questions about any other products or?
So when's all the battery stuff coming to market? Did you say January or December?
Correct, yeah. So we're expecting shipment this side of the year, yeah. So we'll probably look at releasing it, and it's a bit of a tricky one at the moment because we can order battery machines over here, but the batteries themselves always got to come sea freight. So we're looking to release them around January. Yeah. So
We'll wait till next year for that.
possibly. Yeah.
That's
Yeah. So this is really, we're just testing these products at the moment. They're just on the net, so we're just getting them out there, testing it. We think we know what the feedback's going to be, absolutely. But it's always good to get a bit of local people testing products and a bit of feedback from different areas, flooring, carpentry, painting, all this sort of thing. We try to gather all the information we need, and then we can fuel all our salespeople up with the argumentation and where it's good, where it might not be good, and all this type of thing. So, but yeah, they'll be released.
So it's just the two cordless dust extractors and the cordless compound miter saw. Those are the 3 key products there. January 2023.
You guys use this?
I can try to use it, but I don't know.
You're gonna
Those little markings here.
yeah.
The problem is,
I appreciate
is it me or Fuck, that's good. Good enough, huh?
Yeah.
No, that's perfect. I couldn't fucking do it.
Yeah, but
I couldn't do it.
yeah.
And I was like, am I in?
Yeah. Not clear. We can take.
I don't think Marques asked any questions yet.
No, not yet.
No.
He does the same.
I feel like I've been
True.
abused from him tonight.
No.
No, it's great. I love
This is
having
what
the
you get.
customers.